Hey guys, the Firebird is here. I'm back after so long. Guys, okay, long story short, before we really, jump into the news, because there's a bunch of cool stuff to talk about. Some potentially huge reviews for the movie. I got myself a new computer. You guys are probably looking at some of these images on the screen right now. That's how it looks like. It's so much more powerful than my old computer, and this whole week I was just transferring my old computer files to my new, better computer. Yeah, I got myself a 4K HD camera, high definition, so I might start streaming, and my computer has more power than the last one, so I can do more stuff when it comes to my art projects and 3D projects I want to do in the future. So, a lot of cool stuff's coming. That's why I was kind of radio silent this whole week. But if you follow me on Twitter, I was pretty active. So, go do that if you haven't already. And that's enough for now. Potentially, new characters for Rise of the Beast have just been confirmed. Well, if not confirmed, then at the very least, we know which characters exist on the Rise of the Beast universe. And I'm gonna go more in depth about that in a bit. First, Hasbro recently held their first ever quote-unquote Ignite event, which is basically for retailers and investors, where they highlight what's upcoming for the next, couple of years, aka 2022 and 2023. And TFW 2005 made a little coverage of it, so I'm gonna quickly read what they said. Among the highlights was the Transformers franchise. Speaking to the audience, Jenny Whitlock, Vice President, Global Franchise Strategy and Management, stated that plans are underway for Transformers Rise of the Beast and include a slide with the movie title against an Aztec ? Backtrack, more on that in a little bit, featuring Beast characters as well as Optimus Prime. We're partnering with E1 Paramount and a visionary new director to bring life to a Transformers story like you've never seen before. The film will pick up after the events of 2018's Bumblebee and follow Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and an unlikely team of humans who are joined by a group of powerful new allies, the Transformers Beasts. The introduction of Beast characters will be a significant moment for all, from kids to core fans, and especially those who grew up with Beast Wars in the 90s. Transformers Rise of the Beast raises the stakes and sets up for what's come over the next few years in our film franchise. And they also talked a bit about Transformers Earthspark. Nothing too revealing for that one. Like what they say here for Rise of the Beast is not exactly anything too relevant or noteworthy. The only thing of note here is that there is a sequel to the Bumblebee movie, which people keep, listen, before I made this video, before I recorded this video, I was working on another video talking about who's gonna die and who's already dead in Rise of the Beast, like canonically dead. Because, we already have evidence for quite a few off-screen deaths, some Maximals and some Autobots. I don't want to spoil that video too much, but basically in that video I mentioned, and I'm gonna mention this again, even though you guys haven't watched that video still, because I'm still working on it. Paramount wants to keep the canonicity of this movie on the wraps. They don't want you to think of this as a reboot, but at the same time, it is a reboot. Like, the thing is that if they go ahead and say that this is a reboot, they're rebooting the universe this early, this quickly, it's gonna look bad on them, and that's gonna alienate some of the Babers fans, which is why they're very vague about this being, a reboot or a sequel or a prequel to The Last Night, It's that kind of thing. They're never gonna outright say it's a reboot, but they're gonna say it's a sequel to Bumblebee. That's the most you're gonna get. But for all intents and purposes, this is a sequel to Bumblebee and a reboot. So for those of you who still think that this is gonna fit in the Babers, it's not. It's just that they're never gonna admit it. I'm sorry that I need to keep on saying this. I know some of you guys have heard me say this a bazillion times, but not everyone watches all my videos, so you always need to repeat this just in case. Also, since this is in the DFW 2005 website, a lot of people are being very toxic and negative about the thing, about the way that Hasbro delivered that statement. Listen, if you were to explain the intricacies of the Transformers universe to a normie, they're not gonna understand the difference between a Maximal, an Autobot, a zombie con, or a Terracon. For them, these are just weird fan terms that they know nothing about. So Hasbro telling normies, people who don't know much about the franchise, oh, we have Beast Transformers. That sums it up for them, Not everyone's a Transformers fan. The world doesn't revolve around you. I'm sorry, I don't like the TFW 2005 website community that much. But anyways, let's talk about something more interesting, and that is the reveal of what characters exist on the Rise of the Beast universe. Now, they shared with us this little image wallpaper thing, which depicts an Incan, no, not Incan, an Aztec, like, wall with symbols depicting some clearly visible beast characters, along with Optimus Prime in the corner for some reason. Now, some people are complaining that this is actually non-Incan, like stone wall symbols. This is actually an Aztec one, or a Mayan one. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with Mexican cultural back history. Like, I know some of it, but not a lot of it. This is typically how Incan monument work looks. And this is very clearly supposed to be, you know, Aztec, Mayan, Mexican, you know, stonework. Which, my friend who is Peruvian, who, like, again, I told you he edits my videos sometimes, he was a bit salty about that. But hey, Americans are not gonna know the difference between two separate cultures that exist outside the boundaries, are they? This is what's wrong with America. But anyways, let's be serious right now. So, in the stonework, we can clearly see Optimus Primal, Pterosaur, either Tarantulas or Black Arachnia. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's Tarantulas, because I don't want to explain that, like, right here, right now, but I have good evidence to the fact that if we're gonna see a spider, you know, Predacon in this movie, it's gonna be Tarantulas and not Black Arachnia. I have good evidence as to why we have already seen Black Arachnia and he went over everyone's heads. I don't want to spoil that right now, but basically, I think Black Arachnia is already in the movie, and I think this is just Tarantulas. I know, it's weird, but just go along with me, okay? I'll explain that in a future video, I promise. We see a rat, so that's Rattrap. We clearly see a dinosaur, so, you know, Megatron, who else will that be? Eraser, Scorponok, Cheetor, and maybe Dinobot? It's a bit hard to tell. But someone in the TFW Justify website, who, you know, is not a complete toxic guy, actually did bring up a good point. Slime Formersa said, the wheel appears to have a pattern, good guy then bad guy, good guy then bad guy. If this pattern is true, then this picture over here of this one, like, it could potentially be Rhinox. Because of the resolution of the image, it's very hard to tell, like, especially since we got the logo covering the screen. It's very hard to tell, you know, which characters are supposed to be what. But at least we got a clear look at some of them, and this is probably the first time we're seeing Pterosaur, Tarantulas, Rattrap, Megatron, Scorponok, and maybe Dinobot. Again, because the quality of the image is very hard to tell, and, like, listen, there's a possibility that these could just be, you know, filler, you know, characters that they're inserting there to, you know, just, like, act as the core, and are probably not gonna, you know, actually appear in the movie. And for some of them, like, let's say Rattrap, I can kind of see that being the case. Like, I definitely don't think Rattrap's gonna be in this movie. But I do think that at some point, if, you know, this wall is to be believed, he did exist in the universe. I think by the time of Rise of the Beast, Rattrap's dead. And yeah, I know. There's a lot of... I'm gonna make a video talking about this, but really, I am gonna make a video talking about this. Just wait like 1 or 2 days. But I'm very interested on the Predacon selection here, because so far we haven't seen anything of the Predacons, not even seen their symbol on set. We saw the Terrorcon symbol, we saw the Autobot, the Decepticon one, the Maximal one, hell, even the Mercenary one. But the Predacons have been suspiciously absent. This will be like our first clear look at what the Predacon cast is gonna look like. And so far this makes 5 Predacons. Now, another reason why I think that this mural is probably true and we're actually gonna see, you know, these characters on the film is because, listen, look at the Maximal roster in this, like, little circle thing. Optimus Primal, potentially Rhinox, Eraser, Cheetor, and yeah, I mean, Rattrap's there, and so far Rattrap hasn't been confirmed to appear in the actual movie, which I don't think he will. For the most part, the characters here all appear in the movie are slated to have a confirmed appearance in the movie. It'll be very weird to have all of these confirmed characters and for the Predacons all to be unconfirmed characters, all the Predacons to just be there for the core and not actually appear on the film. I think it's a very weird choice to have, you know, the characters that we know for a fact are gonna be in this movie, and then have them be right next to characters that are not gonna be in this movie. I definitely do think that these characters are gonna be in the movie. Pterosaur, Megatron, and Dinobot, if that ends up being Dinobot, do make a whole lot of sense because they're reptile-esque characters, and we do know that that's how the Predacons gonna be for the most part. Scorponok and Tarantulas, you know, they could always appear on the movie. Those are like a bit weird. They might end up appearing, they might not end up appearing, who knows. But considering that the Maximal cast, with the exception of Crescent, are Maximals that we know from the OG series, it only makes sense that the Predacons we'll see in this movie are also from the OG series. But yeah, these are all the characters that apparently are gonna be in the movie. Again, I'm still a bit iffy about Rattrap. In my video, like the video that I'm gonna upload, explaining what characters are potentially already dead by the time of Rise of the Beast, and which ones have been killed off screen by Scourge. I do mention that I think Rattrap's not gonna be on this film, so him appearing here instead of someone like Crescent, who we know for a fact is gonna be in the movie instead of Rattrap. He's gonna be the fifth Maximal. It's weird, and I don't know, like this could be just Hasbro trolling us with familiar faces that are probably never gonna be in the movie. But that argument kind of falls apart when out of all the good guys here, out of all the Maximals, almost all of them, with the exception of Rattrap, are already confirmed to be in this movie. I don't see them throwing the Predacons there if they're not gonna also make an appearance in the movie, Again, it's all very weird, but this is our first clue as to how the full-on Beast Wars cast is gonna be on this film. This actually does tie back to my theory that I made a long time ago. I basically said that since we have 5 Autobots, and they really want to make Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal's relationship to be very kind of mentor-esque. Like, this Optimus Prime is still kind of learning, he's still kind of new. He's not exactly a rookie like he was in War for Cybertron, but he's not exactly a veteran either. So I think that, and I mentioned that from a good thematic story standpoint, I think it will be very smart if they make the Autobot and Maximal cast parallel one another. We got Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal, we got Bumblebee, we got Cheetor, we got RC, we got Air Racer, we got Wheeljack, who's the smart guy, and we got Rhinox, who's the smart guy, and then we'll have Mirage, who's the rebel, and then we'll have Crescent, who'll probably be the rebel, Rattrap replacement, I think. And in this mural, we conveniently happen to see 5 Predacons. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, what if Crescent is just Rattrap and they just renamed him for whatever reason in this movie? Now, what if Crescent doesn't exist at all and they're just covering for Rattrap? Since, Hasbro's pretty well aware that people are stealing their toys, people are leaking their stuff. So what if Rattrap's actually in the movie and Crescent's like just a made up name to hide the fact that he exists? It wouldn't be the first time they do this. Like, they've done this plenty of times before for previous movie toy lines, and because listen, where does Crescent come from? He comes from the toy line, right? Like the toy line listings, the toy line names. Toy lines usually change the names of characters to hide them from time to time. I know this doesn't really happen all the time, but it does happen quite a bit. So maybe Crescent was like given name to hide Rattrap, and that's why they added him here instead of the clearly skunk character that's actually gonna be in the movie. I don't know, guys, this is so confusing. Like, I'm thinking like a million things right now, what this means. I'm trying to dissect and analyze this freaking picture to give me an idea as to who's gonna be in the movie. But it doesn't make any sense. Why have the entire Maximal cast that appears in the movie and then add Rattrap, a character that apparently is not gonna be in the movie? It just, oh my god, I have so much to think about, guys. Like, I don't know what to make of this. I definitely do think that this is leaning towards all of these characters appearing in the movie. Like, you just don't add 4 Maximal characters that are 100% confirmed to be in the movie with 5 Predacons that will not appear in the movie. You just don't do that. So yeah, for now I'm thinking that all the characters here are gonna appear in the movie, with the exception of Rattrap. But that one I'm very confused about. Like, Rattrap's like such a mysterious character in all this right now. He could be in the movie, maybe in a flashback, or maybe he's dead and we won't see him in the movie, or maybe he is Crescent, in disguise. You thought this character was Crescent, but it was me, Rattrap, But yeah, guys, that's all there is to report at the moment. It looks like they're still keeping the release date of June 9, 2023, so we're still waiting a year plus for the movie. I know it sucks, but it's the way things are, and it gives them more time to polish up the movie and make it good. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not too bothered by it. Like, if it means we end up getting a quality product at the end, I'm all for it. But yeah, considering that they showcase these to, toy retailers and investors and stuff like that, my guess is that we're gonna start seeing the toys dropping very soon. Like, listen, the month's almost over. I think for a fact we're gonna be seeing the toys very, very, very soon. But for now, we wait And I know the toys have been leaking and stuff, but I think very soon we're probably gonna start seeing more leaks and Hasbro just openly going on and, you know, showcasing what they have in store for the rest of the Beast toy line. So yeah. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Do you guys think these characters will appear in the movie, or do you think that Hasbro just threw these symbols in here of Beast Wars characters to throw us off, or just for, you know, decoration value? Honestly, I think this is a bit too purposeful for it to just be, you know, characters they chose at random. I mean, these are clearly characters that appear in the movie next to characters that we know are probably gonna be in the movie, but we don't have any clear confirmation of that yet. But I guess time will only tell. I'm leaning towards yes, these characters will be in the movie, and this is Hasbro's way of like teasing us about it, telling us, yeah, they're gonna be here at the Predacons, to stop panicking. But of course, since the movie is so far away from being released, they don't want to showcase the concept art or stuff like that just yet. They're saving that for way later down the timeline. So yeah, I have more Rise of the Beast videos on the way. I have a lot of stuff to say about which characters are gonna die, which characters are already dead in this movie, because we already know which characters bite the dust before the movie even begins, and there's evidence for it. So yeah, that's gonna be fun and disappointing for certain Beast Wars character fans. And also have a bit of plan on Black Arachnia, because there's more evidence that my Black Arachnia theory is true. Like, people call me crazy for that theory, but now guess what? I'm potentially right. That there's more evidence pointing to that being true, and I can't wait to make a part 2 of that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Sorry I took so long making new videos. You know, I had to do a lot of stuff in my life and update my computer and stuff. But now that I'm back, I'll go back to making good content that you guys can enjoy and laugh at. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Anyways, guys, before we go, shout out to our amazing Patreons: Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, Scrub Lordo, Allspark Studio, Epic Nin, Lord Racer, Transformers Gears and Brawn, that's quite a long name, Optination Reviews, Joshua, and even bigger shout out to our even bigger Patreons, Jordan the Great and XNori23, who donate a amount of money. By donating to my Patreon, you get quite a few rewards. You get a shout out to you and your YouTube channels in the description down below. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to. You can request some artwork from me, request your own videos, get exclusive early access to some of my videos and some other projects that I have in the background which I haven't shown yet. And I'm constantly updating the Patreon with brand new rewards and other stuff that I plan to do in the future. But keep in mind that this is entirely optional, because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys so much for donating, it's so much appreciated, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys!